Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm JJ Summers and it's very nice to see you all again. So this week I decided to go ahead and just kind of keep on, since it's kind of the beginning of my channel, I decided, I'll kind of keep on the theme with getting to know me, but I thought that maybe I would do something a little different. I accredit this idea to my father. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I was like, you guys should give me fun ideas for videos because I'm not creative and I need help figuring out what to do. So I posted that video and my father told me to make a list of my favorite things. And so I've compiled a list of some of my favorite things, not in any order, not in any particular rank, just random subject favorite things. So here we go. My favorite food is sushi. Anyone who knows me knows that I talk about sushi quite frequently. When I say it's my favorite food, it's my favorite food. It's very near and dear to my heart. It's kind of a good thing that sushi is expensive, because if it was inexpensive, I would have it a lot more often and I would continually be broke. So I'm kind of grateful / kind of sad that it's as expensive as it is. It's just a very nice treat every once in a while. Sushi's one of those things where when I get to have it, it's like a dream come true, like every time. Like honestly, sushi is just so good to me. I'm such a seafood freak. I love everything seafood. I love shellfish. I love stuff like that. Every time I have sushi, it's like a melt in your mouth, glorious, like. So I love sushi. It's my favorite food. Next one, favorite ice cream flavor. I would say that typically if I were to go to the store, I would say either vanilla or like a berry type ice cream. Tillamook's blackberry cobbler, like that kind of ice cream is like my jam. But I think if I were to have the best ice cream flavor that I've ever tried, I think it would be raspberry cheesecake, or like Dairy Queen's, I think it's like their either raspberry or strawberry cheesecake blizzard is one of the best blizzards I've ever had. So I think generally my favorite flavor is vanilla or like the blackberry cobbler, like just going to the store, in terms of just going to the store ice cream. But I think my favorite ice cream flavor like of all time has been raspberry cheesecake or like strawberry cheesecake. So I'm sure there's both of them out there. But number 3, favorite comfort food. It's chicken and dumplings. Chicken and dumplings. It's like my favorite comfort food of all time. That and mashed potatoes or like scallop potatoes. Anything potatoes really is comforting to me. If you remember, like my channel was literally called Abstract Potato. I identify with potatoes on a spiritual level. I just feel like I'm a part of the potato species. So there's that. I am a walking potato. Love potatoes, but I think if I had to say my favorite comfort food is chicken and dumplings. Like there's something so comforting, and I love the dumplings. My dad makes the best chicken and dumplings. I love it so much and I ask for it quite often and he gets tired of it most of the time. Favorite dessert. This one is tough because I have so many favorite desserts, but for me, I love cobbler. Cobbler is one of my favorite. I would say either cobbler, just in general, like it doesn't matter what kind of cobbler, or just like a milkshake. Like honestly, I love both of those things. Those are 2 of my favorite types of desserts, is a cobbler or a milkshake. Favorite fruit. My favorite fruit is mangoes. They are the best. Favorite drink at Starbucks specifically. My favorite drink at Starbucks is the salted sweet cream cold brew. It's so good, so yummy, but you get that strength of the cold brew and that caffeine from the cold brew. I like it when they put like the extra sweetener like in the actual coffee, not just like in the cream, but I like it when they put more of like the caramel flavor in the coffee. It's just so good, and it's like salted caramel, so you get that nice saltiness, but with the caramel and with the coffee, it's all ties in very well together and I love it. It's my favorite. Favorite 80s movie? Mine would have to be The Labyrinth. I haven't watched a whole lot of 80s movies, like other than like the old Star Wars movies, and I'm sure there's a lot more movies in the 80s that I've seen. I just don't know them off the top of my head, and if you were to tell me a movie that was made in the 80s that's really popular, I'd be like, oh yeah, I've probably seen that. So I would say The Labyrinth, like off the top of my head, is probably my favorite 80s movie. I love David Bowie, God rest his soul. I love his acting, I love his music, and it's such an odd movie, but that's kind of what I loved about it, like all the goblins. And I loved how cheesy Sarah was. Like, she's just the worst. She's just the worst. Like, she's so cheesy. I love the music in that movie. It's really fun and 80s. You know, it's an 80s movie. I love the characters except Sarah. Yeah, I just love that movie. It's odd, but I like it because it's odd, and I like the music and most of the characters. So The Labyrinth is my favorite 80s movie. Favorite Pixar movie, I'd say, is Inside Out. I love that movie for so many reasons. I love the cast. I love the characters. There's just something so honest about that movie and so genuine, because when you look at the idea of that movie and like the concept and the plot, it was such a creative idea, and just like the idea that everyone has isolated emotions like running everyone. I think that's so funny because a lot of people let their emotions guide them, and I tend to be one of those people, and so watching that was just kind of like, okay. It was humbling, and it was also enlightening. I love the funny moments in it. There's so many funny and cute moments in it. I love the character of Riley. She's so relatable, even if she's like 12 years old. Like, she's very relatable, and like her situation is very relatable, and the whole concept of her moving to a new place, and she's going through all these transitions, like emotionally moving from her home that she had lived for so long. That's such a big change for a little kid, and like you can see that very clearly through the movie, and you can see that through the emotions that run inside her head. And the fact that it was so prominent that joy was trying to take over everything, and it only made things worse, and then sadness was like the cure to all of it. It was such a moving I get emotional whenever I talk about this movie. It's such a moving concept because so many of us try so hard in situations like that to be positive and to be happy, but like it takes a lot of courage to embrace those tough emotions, and it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you when you're sad. Sadness is not a bad emotion. Like, it's an emotion just like happiness is, just like joy is, and it's an important emotion because it allows you to process things, and it allows you to think about things and to cherish the things that once were. It's just a very moving film for me to watch. I really love that movie, and I cry at the end of it every time when Riley comes back from trying to run away. I cry every time, and I get emotional just when talking about it. So moving on to the next favorite thing, Inside Out is my favorite Pixar movie. Favorite TV sitcom, Parks and Rec is probably my favorite sitcom. I would say The Office, but I haven't watched enough of The Office to really like say it's my favorite. I've watched a few episodes, and every episode I've watched of it is really funny, but like I haven't watched enough of it to be like, oh, it's my favorite. But as of right now, Parks and Rec is my favorite. Favorite instrument? I'd say that my favorite instrument to play is the bass thus far. I'd say my favorite instrument in general, I think, would be the cello. It's just a very beautiful instrument. It's just very soft and hearty, and I love listening to it. Yeah, it's just a really beautiful instrument to listen to, and it adds a lot of depth to whatever it's a part of, and I really like listening to the cello, and it's always been a dream of mine to learn how to play one. So yeah, that's my favorite instrument in general. My favorite music genre is, I think it has to be rock or metal. I really like rock in general, but like specifically metal is probably one of my favorites. Favorite 80s song, I would have to say my favorite 80s song is You Spin Me Right Round Like a Record. I think it's by Dead or Alive, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's who it's by. That song's just a freaking bop. Like it's so good. Favorite breed of dog? I would say that golden retrievers are my favorite breed of dog. They are so snuggly, so fun and energetic, and they're just so awesome. They're so cute, and I've always wanted a golden retriever. Favorite animal? My favorite animal is a bear. I love bears. When I was younger, me and my family went to the abandoned petting zoo, and I actually got to hold like a bear cub, and it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. Just holding a baby bear. It was so cool. What is your favorite big cat? I would say a lion. Lions used to be my favorite animals just because they're so majestic and they're so like stoic. Favorite nursery rhyme? This isn't an official nursery rhyme, but my favorite nursery rhyme that we have in our family is the happy song, and it goes, I'm so happy, I'm so happy, I'm so happy, 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 I'm so happy, I'm so happy, 'cause Jesus is a friend of mine, amen. That's my favorite nursery rhyme. Favorite hairstyle? I would say a braided mohawk. If you've ever seen, I can put a picture up right here, but braided mohawks, like if you look up pictures of like braided mohawks, like people with long hair but they do it in like a mohawk form, is so cool. I love them. I am trying to grow my hair out long, as you can see, trying to grow my hair out longer so that I can pull it off better, but eventually I want to get to a place where I can pull one of those off. All right, next one. Favorite candle scent? I'd say that my favorite candle scent, I think that has to be vanilla or like any fall scent, because I just really like fall. I also really like the fresh linen kind of scent. I like the smell of fresh laundry, like fresh, clean, dried laundry. So like whenever I can find like a fresh linen candle, I really like those too. Yeah, vanilla, lavender, fall scents are really cool. Favorite boy name? I would have to say Walter or Oliver or Henry. Those are my top three. Not in any order, but just those are my top three. Walter, Oliver, and Henry. And my favorite girl name, I would say, is Saoirse. If you've ever heard the name Saoirse, it sounds pretty straightforward, like Saoirse, but the Irish spelling, like the pure spelling of it, is Saiorse, which looks like Saorse. That's the way it looks, but that's like the pure Irish spelling of it. And so it sounds like Saoirse, but it's really cool because it's like Irish and stuff. So, and I am part Irish, so you know. Favorite way to relax? I would say chilling at home with a cup of coffee or tea or hot cocoa. Just a hot beverage. Either watching YouTube or playing a video game or like watching a movie or literally doing whatever. Like I could be working on the computer or whatever. Like just being at home is really relaxing to me. It's just my comfort space and it's my space where I can be myself. Let's see. Got a few more here. Favorite canceled TV series? I have two. I would have to say Chuck, which I don't know if it was technically canceled or if it just ended weird, but Chuck is one of my favorites. Heroes is the other one. I know they technically like made a new Heroes like a while ago, but I don't remember if that one got canceled too. Poor Heroes, they just get canceled all the time. But yeah, I really liked Heroes and Chuck. Those were two prominent shows when I was growing up, so I really like those shows. Favorite Disney movie? Brother Bear. Hands down. Great plot, great music, great cast. Well, when I say great cast, I mainly mean Joaquin Phoenix. He's the man. I love Joaquin Phoenix. Every movie that I've seen him in, he's been stellar, so. But Brother Bear was really good. The music's great. Done by Phil Collins, which, the man. So, but Brother Bear is really good. I've loved that movie ever since I was a kid, and I would just watch it over and over. I could still watch it over and over and over again, and I would be happy. Yeah, that's my favorite Disney movie. Favorite cake? I think an Oreo cream cake or like an Oreo cheesecake. I really like Oreos, so like an Oreo cream cake with like cream cheese in it or like made out of like a cream cheese frosting. That's really good. Just a few more here. Favorite teacher? I would say Mr. Ritter from my senior year of high school. He was my English teacher slash like poetry teacher. He was just like the best teacher I've ever had by far. Like, he just made when I talk about him, when I think about him, I get emotional, only because I had a bad run of teachers like all throughout school. Like, I don't know if it was me, I don't know if it was them. Well, some teachers I know it was them, but like there were some teachers that I had that were okay, but like most of my teachers like throughout school were just not great. And so especially like my senior year of high school was a tough year because I had transferred from online school back to public school, and I had wanted to go to Cottage Grove High School because that's where I started my high school career and all my friends were there, and I was so hopeful that I was going to get to finish there with my friends, and it ended up not working that way, and we had to move to Springfield, and so I ended up going to Thurston High School, which is what's on my hoodie, Thurston Music. Funny enough, this is probably my favorite hoodie. But anyway, just senior year in general was really tough. It was just a year full of transition. It was a successful year, but at a cost. Like I had little to no friends that year just because I didn't know anyone. And it was just like trying to get used to the campus. It was just different. Trying to get used to the schedule. It was very different. Also, like recovering lost credits from online school. I pretty much flunked online school, and it didn't register in my brain that it was actual school because it was all online and it all seemed fake. Because it was just all online and none of it seemed real, and it was just really hard to grasp anything from online school, and I just had a hard time learning that way, which online school was my choice, which I still think is the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life, was to go to online school, which is personally why I feel for all of the kids who are doing online school right now who have never done it before and are having to acclimate to it in such a hasty fashion. I feel for them 100%, and I feel so bad for them. I like how I went from Mr. Ritter to online school, but yeah, Mr. Ritter was my favorite part of every day, or at least when I had him. I don't remember if I had him every day, but whenever I think about him, I get emotional. So Stop. Very, 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 very sweet man. Trying not to cry too much. It's just what I do. I just cry. It's who I am. He was a very sweet man, and he made learning fun. Very fun. I'm not crying because like he's dead or anything. He's not. He's very much still alive. But he was just a very very nice man to be around, especially in a challenging time like that. He just made it a lot better. He just, I don't know, there was just something about him that just, I got excited whenever I got to be in his class, and it was, whenever it was the day to go to his class, I got so excited, and it doesn't matter what we were learning about, like, I was just happy to be there, and I miss him. He's a wonderful guy. He's very sweet, and yeah, I just think about that time, and how challenging it was, and you know, how lucky I was to have a teacher like him. Him and oh, what was his name? My economics teacher. What was his name? I don't remember his name. Why can't I remember his name? My economics teacher. But he was also excellent. You know, come to think of it, all the teachers except one at Thurston were all wonderful. But yeah, Mr. Ritter was just an excellent human being, and I miss him. He's a fantastic teacher. He's very inclusive, very funny. He's so helpful. There's never a dumb question. Yeah, I'm gonna move on so I don't cry anymore. What's my favorite meme? Whew. I really like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's going, you know that one where he's got like the cup, he's, you know, I don't know if my impression is very good, but I'll put a picture of it somewhere on here. I love that meme. It's so funny. I love the face he makes. Anything with it is just so funny. Favorite art medium? I would say that definitely music is my favorite. Favorite cool down spot? Ooh, I think that means like favorite place to go when you want to like cool down or like think. And I would say for anyone who lives in Cottage Grove, there's the pull-off spot right above Dorena Lake Dam, and you can see like the river that comes out of the dam, and you see like the valley of trees that's right next to Dorena Lake. It's my favorite spot to go to when I need to think, or when I need to just be by myself, or when I just want a good view. Like, I just go there. And last but not least, favorite restaurant? I would have to say my favorite restaurant is Jung's Mongolian Grill in Eugene off of West 11th. It's been my favorite restaurant since I was a kid. I love how, or at least before COVID, you could just walk in there and, you know, someone would take you to a table and they would bring you bowls, and then you'd go to kind of like a buffet line, but except it's raw ingredients that you put in a bowl, and then you can top them with like sauce. You bring it over to the cook and you can watch them cook your food. Like I said, it's a Mongolian grill, so it's kind of more Asian cuisine, kind of Asian flavors. It's my favorite place to go, and it's all you can eat, one price you pay, and the food is always delicious because I make it and then they just cook it. If it's not good, it's kind of your fault. But it's my favorite restaurant, I'd say. Anyway, guys, those were my favorite things. Just a few of them to name. I love doing this kind of stuff. And again, if you have any suggestions for videos, I'd love to hear them. And you can follow me at my social medias. I'll put them right here. I'll be putting the favorite things in the video as I list them. So if you want, you can comment down below along with me your favorite things so I can get to know you a bit more. That would be awesome. I love hearing from you guys. So again, any creative ideas you have for videos, anything you want to see, I would love to know your ideas because I'm always taking suggestions and I'm always taking feedback as well. Just anything about the video that you think that maybe I could do better. Just anything that you might have suggestions about, any constructive criticism, as long as it's in love. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me for this. I had so much fun doing this, and I will catch you on the flip side. See ya.